So we start with one. Nowadays this hangs too much. Okay. Algebraic. The spelling is algebraic. R-A-I-C. Algebraic expressions. Right. In this type of problems, what you need to be very careful is there is no way you will get to know what you're doing is right or wrong, because it's not about proof. It's not about telling something. What you do, you will always feel you're doing right. Have you understood? And then when you check your answer with some book, then you may find that you have done an error. In that case, don't try to check the problem. It will be like hunting needle in grass. Do you understand? Hunting needle in grass, you won't be able to find. If you find, it's good. Rather, take your time to do the problem. These problems usually tend to be very long in steps. That's why I say use a long copy. Because every time you use a short copy, whenever you'll turn your page, there is a potential that a minus 4x will be picked up as 4x by you. And once that is done, it's GIGO. Garbage in, garbage out will come out. And you won't even understand, because you will feel what I'm doing is correct. So when you do these problems, full on attention, check the problem at the step level itself. Don't try to check it later on. And while you do here, you know what will happen? Say suppose some child got the answer as 12x, which is correct, and he got the answer as say 4x. Then what will come out of his mouth? You know, oh yes, sir, my bad. He's put a plus, I did minus. We don't feel that. We don't feel the vulnerability, but in the exam, that is a 0. Are you understanding? Yeah. So let's see what is an algebraic expression. So algebraic expression is usually a term or combination of terms. We will understand what is term or combination. Here, what some things these terms will have are, we need to understand what we mean by the word coefficient. Coefficient. Then we need to understand what is the meaning of the word variable. We need to understand what is the meaning of the word power or exponent, or what is the meaning of the word index, right? We need to understand what is a constant, okay? And then we also need to understand what is a operator, okay? We need to understand. Once let us have our knowledge clear about these things, then only we will be able to proceed. Okay? How many days now? Coefficient. Coefficient. Okay. Let me write one algebraic expression. Okay. Let's say I write an algebraic expression which is something like 56x square as of now. 56x square. Okay. Now, the first thing that I'll try to define for you is what is a variable. A variable is an unknown. Okay? Yeah. बाद में बेटा अभी थोड़ा रुक जाओ, मुझे बोल लेने दो. A variable is an unknown. Unknown means something whose value is not known. And it can take up any values whose value is not known. Like say you all did linear equations in one variable. There used to have a x, used to have a y, used to have a m, n. So usually variables are represented by literals or the English alphabet literals. The most common variables people use are x, y, and since I have a Desi student, so I call Z. You all are hi-fi students, you all call Z. So it's the same thing. Gaon wale the na, so we call it Z, X, Y, Z, X, Y, Z. So Z. But that does not restrict you from using some more literals like M, N, S, T. You can use them also. But initially, you will see that X, Y, Z's are appearing more. Okay, they are more predominant when the variables are expressed. So what is a variable? A variable is something whose value is not known, and a value can take up any shape. A variable can take up any value, usually represented by the English literals X, Y, and Z. Right. Now, second thing comes up is we need to understand once we have defined our variable. So variable will the first one will define. Once you have defined variable, you are in a position to define what is the coefficient. Coefficient is like, my name is Jaydeep, Mr. Jaydeep. So that Mr. is the coefficient. The salutation that you give to a name, Mr., Mrs., Master, Miss, what is this? This is a salutation, as we say. So the salutation to this, the term, the number, along with its sign that is ahead of a variable is known as its coefficient. So if this is my example, then my coefficient for this term would be, positive 56. We don't write positive 56, so we just say 56 is my coefficient. Have you understood? For example, if my term would have been a negative 7x squared, then in this case, I would say my coefficient is negative 7, and negative numbers are always to be put in brackets. Have you understood? However, now there is an issue. Say, for example, I have a term which is 56x squared minus 7y. The term is like this, okay? I see that two variables are appearing here as x and y. So now comes the question, what is the coefficient? Now, if you just say coefficient, doesn't make sense. What is the coefficient of x squared? What is the coefficient of y? So now we will say that the coefficient of x squared is positive 5 and the coefficient of y is negative 7. Have you understood? Coefficients always take their significance comes once the variable has been ascertained. Let's see one more example. Say I have something which is 7x squared minus 2x. How many variables do you see here? One variable. Variable is always x. That is C. There's nothing wrong. But I have also said 2 in my school days. Variable is only x. Here x is getting squared. Here x is coming as a single power. How many variables out here? 2. Dog, cat. Dog square, dog. Animal एक ही है. It's one variable. So now how do we define? We define the coefficient of x square is 7 and the coefficient of x is minus 2. Not 2, minus 2. क्या हो रहा है? नींद क्यों आ रहा है? हाँ, पानी पीना है, water bottle है, नहीं तो वहां से भर लेना. So it's known as, no, you can drink water. No? There are 3 bottles kept there. This is you have to fill water. So the coefficient of x is how much? Minus 2. Is this understood now? Is coefficient clear to you? Okay. The next, after coefficient, we start understanding what is the power. The third one. The power is the exponent of the variable. Exponent of the variable. So this is your power. Here the power is 1. So this is your power. Here the power is 1. So how do we now say what is the power of x in this expression? The power of x in this expression is 2. And when the power is 2, we call it squared. What is the power of x in this one? Well, the power of x in one of the term is 1. And in 1 it is squared. 2 means squared. Have you understood? Okay. And the last one comes is operator. Let's understand what is operator. Operators are the operations involved between these terms. They can be plus, minus, multiplication, or division. As of now, we will concentrate on plus and minus more and not that much on division and multiplication. So let's look here. What is the operator out here? The operator is minus. What is the operator out here? The operator is minus. Negative operation is going on. Have you understood? A constant देखेंगे ना? Operator clear हो गया? ठीक है. उसके बाद आता है constant. Constant को देखते हैं. Constant is our fifth one. Say for example, I have an algebraic expression 7x squared plus 5. Now just look at the two terms. The first term has got a variable in the power of 2, with a coefficient of +7, and the next one does not have a variable, but it actually has a variable. Your eyes are not seeing that. It does have a variable. You are not seeing it. So what is a constant? A constant is always the coefficient of a variable whose power is 0. So we would not define it so complicated way. We'll say a constant is something which does not have any variable associated with it. So what is the constant out here? +5. +5. If it would have been 7x square minus 5, then the constant is -5. Algebra is all about giving respect to the people. Shri Sarvesh, Mr. Sarvesh, Shriman Sarvesh. You can't say Sarvesh directly. You have to give respect to him. Is this understood at this level? Do you now understand like what is a coefficient, what is a variable, what is a power, what is a constant, and what do you mean by an operator? Based on this knowledge, let us try and test ourselves for some examples. Okay, let's take some examples and try to understand. Okay, let's say we have 54x plus 3. What all do you see out here? Can you tell me? I see one variable. So no, it's not like that. This is an algebraic expression in one variable, which is x. The coefficient of x is 54, +54. The operator is a addition operator, and the constant is +3. Have you understood? Okay. Now, whenever we have, I said that we will be now talking more on the operators, which are the positives and the negatives. So suppose you look at the two operators, positive and negative. The positives and negatives always appear in this way, in which on this side you will have something, and on this side you will have something. Here also you'll have something on this side, something on this side. Is it correct or not? Just check. Right. When such a thing happens, typically with the arrival of whom? With the arrival of positive or negative, then such things are known as terms. They are known as terms. They are known as terms. Now look at the example that I gave, 54x plus 3. Do you see terms out here? Obviously. How many terms? 2 terms. Right. Let's see one more example. Let's see an example where I write 54x. Do you see a positive or a negative out here? No. Any operator out here? No, there is no operator. Since there is no operator, as of now, just believe there is no operator. That means there is no question of 2 terms getting created. 1 term will always be there. Otherwise, how is it an algebraic expression? A country has to have minimum 1 citizen, right? Otherwise, it is uninhabited country. So it is a 54, say 54x square. So I say my 54x square is a algebraic expression of 1 term. Now, I told you that we will be initially studying positives and negatives as far as operator, but there are 2 more operators, which are division and multiplication. So let's see what happens when divisions and multiplications come up. Let's see our next set of operators. If these are clear, then your concept will be fully clear. Say we have multiplications and we have divisions. Okay. Now, is multiplication as an operator involved out here? Yes. This was actually born when 54 was multiplied with x and with another x. So one thing is very evident. Multiplications and divisions do not create more than 1 terms. Right? Multiplications and divisions actually bring everything into 1 term. Let me write something more. 5463 x cube y square z r t square m cube. Just look at it. Just some abracadabra I wrote. Yes, it's a single term. And how many variables are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what is this number? This number is the coefficient of x cube. This number is the coefficient of y square. This number is the coefficient of z. This number is the coefficient of r. This number is the coefficient of t square as well as m. Are there any operators out here? Yes, multiplication. And when multiplication comes as an operator, it does not create more children out there. It's only one term. Are we fine on this? It's only one term. Whereas, just see, a very small thing like say a 7 plus x squared. Now this is in two terms. Just because you got a operator in between. Now what do you see out here? I see this as an algebraic expression in two terms with x as the variable, having a power 2, operator is positive, and the constant is 7, and the coefficient of x square is 1. Yes. Clear ho raha hai? Coefficient of x square is 1. So let's see something more. Okay. Now that we have understood terms, so let's see. Let's go for some example. 7x cube. What do you see this? This is an algebraic expression in one term with one variable x with a power of 3 and a coefficient of positive 7. How many terms are there? One term only. Are there operators involved? Yes, multiplications are the operator involved. So here the number of terms is 1. Whenever it is one term, we call it a monomial. Monomial. Mono stands for 1 and mial stands for the number of terms. Single term, monomial. Samajh mein aaya? Okay, right, very good. Now let's see 7x cube plus 7x square. Now what do we have? Binomial. But how do we say this? This is a algebraic expression in variable x, appearing as x cube and x square in two terms. In the first term, its coefficient is positive 7. In the second term, its coefficient is 1, positive 1. The operation is positive, and there are, oh sorry, not 1, 7. I didn't see that, very sorry. And there are two terms, so this will be known as a binomial. Very good. Binomial. And then let's see 7x squared plus 7x, oh sorry, 7x cubed plus 7x squared plus 7x. This will be known as a trinomial. Agreed? And the last one is 7x cubed plus 7x squared plus 7x plus 7. This is known as a quadrinomial. Okay. Polynomial matlab. Now after this, if you want to go on building it up, so how do we build up? This is higher than your grade, but just see how I'm building it up. 7x to the power n, where n is very big number. The next is 7x n minus 1. 3 to head 2. Then the next is 7x n minus 2. Dot, 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 dot. It comes up till n ends at 7. I don't know. N can be anything. If it is n is 84, 83, 82, 81, like that, it is reducing. What will I call this as? Many means poly. Polythene. Ethene gas. Many molecules polymerize to form polythene. So, say polynomial. Polytechnic. Many sort of technical courses run there. So, it's called a polytechnic. नहीं, but n को हम infinite नहीं लेते हैं. N will be some finite number. This you don't need to write. This is not in your syllabus. I just said it for your interest purpose. अच्छा, पढ़ाया कोई बात नहीं. पढ़ाया तो लिख लो. So, lot of things you have understood. A short recap. Do you now understand what is an algebraic expression? An algebraic expression can have constants, can have operators, can have variables. Variables, so they will have powers associated to them. Then it will have coefficient associated to them. It will have one or more than one terms associated to it. It can have more than one type of variables associated with it. It can also have a constant associated with it. Are we fine on this? Very good. So, let's see one more thing. Let's see one more thing, which is known as degree. Not required in grade 8, but in 9 you'll need it. But let's learn what is degree. Yeah, let's understand what is degree. Now, if you look at this particular example, this example has been a very customized example given to you. What is so special about this example? That the variable is only one x. You are not seeing any other variable. Even when you do high-end polynomials in grade 9 and 10, CBSE does not make you do polynomials in two variables. So you have been blessed. You will do polynomials in one variable. That means if you see a x, you will see only x. If you see a y, you will see only y. If you see a z, you will see. But x और z एक साथ तो नहीं आएगा. ठीक है? समझ में आया? So out here also, I am having my algebraic expressions all in one variable, which is x. Right? Now, in degree, we need to look at the variable. And more than variable, what is important is the power. Do you understand? Now let's take a variable which is say x and let's make its power as 0. This is something equal to 1. Understood? What do we say in this case? The degree is 0. And whenever degree is 0, that means it becomes a constant. So another way of defining a constant is an algebraic expression with a variable whose degree is 0. Is 7 a constant? Yes. What you're not seeing with your night vision glasses is 7 has got a x associated with it, for which you put on your night vision. Roger, get my night vision on. The night vision on, you see an x and you have a 0 with it. So any expression with 0 as its degree will always be known as, or 0 as the power. Now there is a difference between power and degree. Let's understand that. For that, the best way is to take this example first. How many terms are out here, beta? One term. How many types of variables are you seeing? One variable. Therefore, in this case, if I ask you, what is the highest power of the variable if all terms are considered? You will say, what, sir? There is only one term and there is only one x cube. So the highest power of x is how much? 3. So in this case, I would say that for this example, the degree is what? 3. Degree means highest power of the variable in that entire expression. What do you see the degree here in the next one? 3. Because you have got a 2 and you have got a 3. Who is bigger? 3 is bigger. Degree means the highest power of the variable. Degree stands for highest power of the variable. Degree stands for highest power of variable. Across all terms in an algebraic expression. Compare all the terms. Let's compare all these terms. What is the highest power of x? Again 3. What is the degree? 3. What is the degree here? What is the degree here? N. This is of nth degree because n is the highest power. Now let us do some jugglery, okay? What is the degree now? 2. Okay. Now, what is the degree now? What is the degree now? 0. 0 is the degree out here. Yeah, this degree is 0. So let's give some names also. Okay. Now, on the basis of terms, how do you name them? On the basis of terms, if I am the person, I'm going to say that these things are known as meals. And you go on adding something out here, mono, bi, tri, and don't burn my head, put a poly. Understood? On the basis of degree, okay, if you are 0, then we call that it's a constant polynomial. Example, 5x to the power 0 is nothing but 5. Do you agree or not? So it's called a constant polynomial. What do we call it? Constant polynomial. It does not have any variable. Okay, when the variable is 1, degree is 1, we call it linear. You forgot. That's why you studied linear equations in one variable. Look, let's go back to linear equation. What type of expressions did you see? 5x plus 3 equal to some blah blah. Look at this. Is it an algebraic expression? Yes, it's a binomial with variable x. The highest power is 1. That's why it's called linear. That's why it was called a linear equation. And when you go to grade 10, you will get 5x squared plus 3x equal to blah blah. Quadratic equation, because the degree is 2. So when degree becomes 2, what do we call it? Quadratic. When degree becomes 3, we call it cubic. When degree becomes 4, we call it quartic. Q-U-A-R-T-I-C, quartic, or we can call it biquadratic. And after that, no more required to scratch your head. That's why you used to call it as linear equation. Now, when you go to grade 9, you will see another equation which is like this. Now look here. An algebraic expression in 2 variables. Both the variables are having their powers as 1, so they are linear, but they are binomials separated by an operator which is positive, having x having its coefficient as positive 5, y having its coefficient as positive 4, and a constant on this side which is a blah blah, some 4 or something. So this is called linear equations in 2 variables. When you go to grade 11 or 12, you will get a 5x plus 4y plus a 10z equal linear equations in 3 variables. But now you are bacha, so linear equations in 1 variable, and such algebraic expressions are also called. Okay. Now, based on this knowledge, let's see, okay, based on this knowledge, let us see whether we are able to answer with proper, means we have to give its full name. He is so and so, son of so and so, grandson of so and so, belongs to this clan, his religion, and all, everything we have to specify. How do we say? This is a trinomial in variable x of degree 3 cubic. So it's a cubic, very good. So it's a cubic trinomial. Now you did not say degree 3. It's a cubic trinomial in variable x. Samajh mein aaya? Now, when you have joint families, there are 2 brothers and they have their wives. The elder brother's wife is the elder wife, Vadina, or something like Bhabi, or something like Badi Bahu, elder wife. So control of the house is always with that lady. She will only keep the keys with her. She's Badi Bahu. So here, who is the Badi Bahu? -7 is the Badi Bahu. So iska ek alag naam hoga. Leading coefficient. Leading coefficient. Because if you call this also as coefficient, this also as coefficient, I'm the elder wife of the house. Yes. -7 is degree. Leading coefficient is always, and when we write an algebraic expression, say suppose you wrote this algebraic expression something like this, 3x plus 2 minus 7x cube, and someone wrote it as 3x minus 7x cube plus 2. If you ask me from computational and mathematics perspective, there is no mistake, but these are shabby ways of writing. When we eat food, we first have starters, followed by main course, then desserts, and then we pay the bill. We just don't go and first eat ice cream. And if you are eating, then you're a moron. So this is how moronic way of doing maths. In proper way, how do we do? In reducing order of their powers. Say suppose there was an expression, quartic expression, but the cube power is, say square power is missing. Quartic, but the square power is missing. Let's take an example. 5x to the power 4 minus 36x cube, then the square power is missing. The very proper way to write it is 0x square minus 2x plus 7. आपने सबको जगह दे दिया। अब इस साल भी करेंगे, don't worry. But we don't write it, but this is the best way to write. Jyesht putra, Anuj putra, and that way. Have you understood? Who is the leading coefficient? 5. 5 is there. So what is this? This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A pentanomial. This is a pentanomial, 5, right? So we don't name it, so we call it a polynomial. Very good. It's a polynomial in variable x with a degree 4, that is, it's a quartic polynomial with the leading coefficient as 5. Leading coefficient is 5. Yeah, tell me. There was no square term, I said. Say in question, the problem came like this, and they asked you to write it in standard form. So one way is that the question came like this to you. Now, if you see in reducing degree, we will, when we do problems, from now on, we won't write that 0. I am saying the proper way to write is, this is my elder son, next son. This son is not there, he's in America. But you have to keep one room for him also, right? But generally, we will never count him. So how we will show this? This will go here and we show it as 0. So this is to show that all the powers of x are present. Ideally, what I'm trying to show is that you don't jumble the powers when you write. This is the desert, starter, main course 1, main course 2, main course 3, then start. Desert. You just don't write the desert first. Have you understood? Clear? I think you all have now. By now, what all have you understood? Or yeah. What did you do? You gave some security services to your apartment tower or what? How do you all feel so sleepy? Take the pencil. Take the pencil, beta. On your left, on your right hand. Open your left hand. Right hand. Open your left hand. Left hand. Put the pencil between the fingers. Put the pencil between the fingers, within the middle part of the finger, and press your 2 fingers. Close your eyes. Induce the pain. Yes, the sleep will go away. Okay? Take your fingers. Take your fingers. No, take your fingers without the pencil and hit them on the table edge. Yes. Pain. Get some pain. Bite your tip of your tongue. Give pain to yourself. Yes, now you'll not sleep for next 2 hours. Have you understood? Whenever sleep comes, do these things. Huh? Clear? Very good. Have you understood? Okay. So a small recap. A small recap of whatever we have learned so far. So, given an algebraic expression, if you're given an algebraic expression, you ask yourself, let's ask ourselves, can we understand what are the terms in it? If you have any issues, ask me, okay? I'm just writing a question. Do I understand what is the meaning of the word degree? Do I understand what is leading coefficient? An algebraic expression in one variable, one var. So they have given it to you in one variable. What is variable, leading coefficient? Do I understand what are operators? Do I understand what is a variable? Do I understand what is a power? Check all these things and just let me know, is there any sort of any doubt amongst you or any sort of something you have not understood and you still feel that, you know, sir, this one, just give me one more example and explain that. Let me gulp some water and check this. If you have any issue, let me know. So many students of mine are having such fractures now. I should keep these also at my house. Anyone needs, you can take it. No, exam, those are parents' tension. Parents are supposed to work hard, send him to school. Then when exams comes, that time parent will write an application, my son got injured, so he'll let him be exempted. That worry you leave for parents. That's called a scribe. That's called a scribe. Somebody will sit beside you. And if I'm your scribe, if you say 5x, I'll write 9 minus 5x. I'll do. मेरे को क्या जाता? हाँ. Variable equals to 0 means leading coefficient is always the coefficient associated with the highest power variable. I'm giving you. Can be written as 5.
X to the power anything, but you already know the value of x is 0.
Huh?
0
If you know the value of x is 0, then x is not a variable at all.
I think it means 0x.
You tell me what I should write. Like this expression. Here we don't call 5 as a leading coefficient. 5 is a constant out here. Are we done with this? Okay. Right. So the type of problems that we will be doing in grade 8 are, we will be having algebraic expression. So I'm putting the generic format, what we will do in grade 8. We can have one algebraic expression AE1, another algebraic expression something like say AE2. What is AE1? AE1 can be something like 1, the first algebra, 5x plus 2 or something, right? Between these two or maybe more, say some AEN, some n can be 3, 4, 5. We have to do in this chapter, we have to add them initially. That's the most easiest thing that we do. Then we will do some exercises where we will subtract. And again, here you will get questions, subtract blah blah from tla tla. So you should know who should be written on top and who should be written on in the bottom. That is where now you all are saying very easily. But remember, no one of you have the right to say it smilingly because you all have done that goof up mistake in rational numbers. So this time be very careful, right? Now, add them and subtract them. Now, when you add or subtract, there is one common rule. What is the common rule? The common rule is something like that Bollywood dialogue. Boy and girl have fallen in love and then they want to marry, but they say, Shadi hamesha barabar walon mein hoti hai. Now, means it has arranged marriage, na? Caste has to match, religion has to match, creed has to match, everything has to match. So very, very harsh rules. So what is that harsh rule? The common rule is that you can see, okay, let's see one more thing. One more thing you should remember from now on is add and subtract are not two different things. They're the same thing. Just adding the negative is called subtraction. So for example, when you are a kiddo, you will say 5 minus 3 when you bring that back to my house. Now, since you are grown up, you say, I am adding negative 3 with 5. This is the matured way of looking at subtraction. Have you understood? And don't say that minus 3 like that desi. Negative 3. I also used to say minus 3. When I started teaching kids abroad, they used to say negative 3. Then I also added that. So you also add. A negative 3 is being added to 5. And here 3 was added to 5, right? So when you go for common rule for addition as well as subtraction is very simple. That only like terms can be added or obviously subtracted. Very good. So the next question comes. Sir, what do you mean by like term? What is a like term? That's the next question. Equal, same. What equals? 7x and 3x. We do not look at the coefficient. We just look at the variable and the type of the bindi the variable is wearing. Are the bindis same? Are the variables same? It doesn't matter whether they carry a positive coefficient or a negative. They're like terms. Have you understood? Okay. Next time you're not coming with the bag here, huh? Because more than your bag, my camera is precious to me. Obviously. So that's why I said no sitting in this bench till you get acclimatized, and you'll not get up till I don't ask you to get up today. Okay, so I have a 7x square and I have a 7x. I won't call them like term because though the variables are matching, their bindis are not matching, and exponents have not, sorry, coefficients have nothing as a call. Have you understood? Now one more example. 7x squared and bx square, and they have written where b is a constant. B is what? A constant. So if b is a constant, b is behaving as the coefficient of x square out here. Are they like terms? Definitely they are like terms. Have you understood what are like terms? If b is not a constant, then it will be another variable. So then to सीधा unlike हो गया. सवाल ही पैदा नहीं होता. You have got x as one variable and b and x as two different variables. Question, have you understood? So the thing that you should understand, for addition, we can only add what, beta? Like terms can be added to like terms. Otherwise, no addition, no subtraction is possible. So let's see some more, what you call, examples on this basis. Multiply and divide, we will see later. So let's see. Let's try to check. Okay, we are trying to check now for some additions. Subtractions, additions is the easiest way to check. So we will check with some additions. So it is just doing some checks out here. Say somebody tells me a 5x square and a 7x square, and they asked me to add it. I said, yes, that is possible because the terms are like, have you understood? That's why they are like. Don't need to say terms are like, they have the same power. He is from India means he must be from some state of India, as simple as that. Understood? So now I won't say variables are same, powers are same, the terms are alike. Boy, the board is on this side, either this way or this side. There, you don't have a board there. Okay. So in this case, how do we add it? So your school will tell that you need to just add the two exponents with their signs. So 7 and 5 add together and gives you how much? 12. So it's a 12x square, but we will see how that 12x square comes. So we need to understand how to take common. Means think yourself as a Dracula and try to suck some common blood. But what you suck out from here should be the same amount of blood you suck out from here. So when you go and look at him, he has got a 5 and an x square. He has got a 7. That's not common. But he has an x square. That's common. So take the x square common. If you suck out x square from here, what is remaining? If you suck out x square from here, obviously you have to honor that 7. And this is where you get x square into 12, which you write as x square. So two monomials added together gives me a monomial, provided the two monomials were, it's not two binomials, it's two monomials. Provided the two monomials are like monomials. Yeah, or like monomials or like terms. Have you understood? Now let's say we take something more interesting. We have, say, 5x squared plus 2x, okay, plus 3, and we are asking that you please add this with negative 3x squared plus 4. Okay, they're asking us add them, add these two algebraic expressions. So the first thing we see is the first one is a trinomial and the second one is a binomial. No tension. Between the binomials and trinomials, let's compare term to term. I have a cubic square term here. I also have a square term here. Means like term, in dono ka to hoga. And I have a constant here. I have a constant here. Ye bhi hoga. This fellow is a little duck standing alone. So no other problem. We have to just leave it alone. But the addition is possible. Now, when you add such algebraic expressions, there are two ways of doing it. First, we will learn the kiddo way, which your school and your book will first teach you. That's called the kiddo way. But I will expect you not to go by the kiddo way. Let's see the kiddo way. The kiddo way is write the given algebraic expression in the order of decreasing power. Have I written it? If both are trinomials, then write one trinomial. Write the first trinomial. in the order of decreasing power. Have I written it? The second one is a binomial, means it is short by one term. But in this case, make sure that the Saxena sits under the Saxena, the Malhotra sits under the Malhotra. That means this is a Saxena, this is a Saxena. So they sit together. And this is what Malhotra and Malhotra sits here. You don't have any term out here. You can put a 0, or if you don't put also, it's fine. Now just straight at them. 5 and a negative 3 gives you a positive 2x square. This one, obviously, there's a 0 out here, which gives you 2x. This is 7. Have you understood? This is the kiddo way of doing. In addition, it's still easy, but I would expect you that they will give you add 5x squared plus 2x plus 3. You have to add it with negative 3x squared plus 4. Have you seen? This is called the linear way. And going forward, you have to do this way. ये थोड़ा कुछ दिनों के लिए बच्चा जैसा this is allowed. After that, this is no more allowed. Have you understood? So let's add this. In our next step, what we do, we bring Reddy with Reddy, Malhotra alone, Kapoor with Kapoor, negative, no, positive 2x squared plus 2x. This is how we do it. No one should put a or symbol out here because this is equation. It's not an equation. So you will never put an or. It will be always equal. Have we understood how we do it? Okay. Let's see one subtraction. Easy one. Okay. Let's see a pattern. Do it on your own. That you can do on your own. Let's see one subtraction. Let's say we have negative 5x squared, negative 2x, and say positive 1. And from here you have to subtract, say something like, no, it's a 7x squared and plus 3x plus 2. We have to subtract this one from this. Okay, now here a lot of mistakes you will make initially. I have given this problem in this format to you, but if this format was not given and if this problem was given as a word problem, then what will I write? I will write subtract 7x squared plus 3x plus 2 from negative 5x squared, negative 2x plus 1. And now, whenever you do such problems, as I keep on saying, think simple. Subtract 2 from 7. How do you write it? 7 minus 2, not 2 minus 7. Subtract 2 from 7. Take out 2 from 7. So that's how you have written it. Have you understood? Now here there is a challenge. Look, how do we do it in the linear way? When you do it in the linear way, your first job will be write the first expression. Understand? Here you will make mistake. This is the first expression. This is the way it is. Look at the board. Look at the board. That is more important. Just like the first expression. And this minus is like the raider of the kabaddi. You know kabaddi? So he's like a raider. He will now enter this whole wing and start raiding this bracket. So this becomes again negative 7x squared, negative 3x, negative 2. Our next job will be to put the clan with the clan. Negative 5x squared, negative 7x squared, negative 2x, negative 3x, positive 1, negative 2, negative 12x squared, negative 5x, and then negative 1. That is what is our answer. You need to be very, very careful. Children generally will have a problem when they will initially ask you to do in tabular method. Let's see the tabular method. Tabular is very interesting. Okay, let's see the tabular, and you should know the tabular. Why? That will help you in long division. So in tabular, you write who is the daddy of both. He is the daddy, na? Or from इसी से तो निकालने बोला है. So write the daddy first. 5x squared minus 2x plus 1, and then Don't include this minus, huh? 7x square plus 3x plus 2. Then put your line, sorry. Put your line. What have you been asked to do? The operation is what, beta? Negative is the operation. So write a negative sign here. Here we will do one sort of 1 to the 4. Quickly. Look at the sign of 7. What is the sign of 7? जो है उसको उल्टा कर दो. Positive, negative, positive, positive. Once you have written these blue signs, you no more read those. Your eyes should be such that I don't see any white sign. I see only the blue signs. Now do the addition as per the blue sign. Then this one is also not required. Just do the addition as per the blue sign. Let's do the addition. So what should you get? Negative 5x square and so sorry, this was a negative 5x. Negative 5, negative 7, negative 12x square, negative 2, negative 3, positive 1, negative. Which one? Oh, not 5x square. Yeah, 5x. Sorry. So this should be minus 5x. Have we understood? These are very easy as of now. So let's see some. Let's open our RS Agarwal now. Okay. And go to algebraic expressions, which is. That's what operations on algebraic expression 83. No. Sell the book in the market. So we come down to 83. If you look at 83, initially they have got addition of algebraic expressions and they are doing it by the Kiddo tabular way. I would expect you that you do it in the linear way. But my more warnings are to Sarvesh and the likes of Sarvesh, where you will jump. So I'm doing one problem. You see this not from the perspective of solving the problem, but how the problem has been solved. The question comes like this, and I would expect you to do this problem with me. Add 6a plus 8b minus 5c, 2b plus c minus 4a. Look, they have jumbled it up. And then they say, and a minus 3b minus 2c. Now look, they have jumbled it. They have not written it in an order. So I would like to do it in the linear way. So I would write the first step as solution. I would write 6a plus 8b minus 5c. Then you put a positive, what you call plus sign. Put the next expression, 2b plus c minus 4a. Then put a sign and bring the third one, a minus 3b minus 2c. Whoever deviates from these steps, be ready to lose marks in tests. And if you're fine with that, I have no issues. What should be our next step, Sarvesh? Try to bring all the likes together. So I attack with a. I have taken a. Is there a here? Yes, a negative 4a. And is there a here? Yes, a positive a. And I group all the a's together. Agreed? My next step would be to group all the b's together. I have a 8b. I take a 2b and I take the negative 3b. And then what do I have? I have the negative 5c, then positive c, and the negative 2c. My job becomes easy from here. So 6 plus 4 is 10. No, sorry, 6 minus 4 is 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. So this is 3a. Then 8b plus 2b, 10b minus 3b is 7b. And a negative 5 and a negative 2 makes it negative 7 plus 1, negative 6c. That's it. That's my answer. Right. If this is asked to do in a tabular method, then how will I do it in a tabular method? I will write the first term. Let's do it in a tabular method. So it's 6a plus 8b minus 5c. Then while writing the next term, be very careful. Malhotra under Malhotra, negative 4a, then positive c, then and 2b. And look at the third term. We have a, we have a negative 3b and a negative 2c. Now just add them. 6a minus 4a, 2a. 2a plus a is 3a. The overall problem is a positive addition problem. 8 plus 2, 10. 10 minus 3 is 7. Minus 5 minus 2 minus 7. 6. You should do problem in this way because later on in higher classes, this is what is required. Have you understood? We will be meeting each other with mathematics next Monday, which means, so they have got product. So I'm not giving you any work to do. I will add some addition problems from RS Agarwal on right now itself. I will add on Microsoft Teams. There is no addition problem here. They start with multiplication. So do those addition problems. I'll also upload the answers also. Have you understood? Addition and subtraction. I want you to do the additions in this manner. And I want you to do the subtractions also in this manner. Will you be able to do the subtraction? Or you want me to show one subtraction problem? You have to take the negative. Yeah, and later on we may get something more. See, like this. Subtract this from the sum of this. So you got, add karke fir. You got this in rational numbers where there were small squirrels. Now you're going to have 2 rhinos. You will add 2 rhinos and take out 1 dog out of it. Got it? So all this and more, I will add this on the Teams, what you call, do check your Teams. Okay, there the RS Agarwal questions will be uploaded.